we're going into an Epstein rewind here. For those who maybe didn't watch the Wednesday stream, we'll play the recent Trump's reaction to the Epstein case situation during a press conference. If we can, again, we'll play that. We already showed this clip, obviously, on the Wednesday stream, but it's just interesting to note. I think it's time-stamped at the right location.
Yeah.
And just let's play that, and then we'll go into some of this.
Let's have a look at this.
Yeah.
Being questions about disgraced late financier Jeffrey Epstein. The fresh scrutiny comes after a new report out of the DOJ and the FBI that found that Epstein had, quote, no client list or any evidence that he blackmailed prominent figures. Listen to the president shut down a reporter when attempting to ask Attorney General Pam Bondi about that memo.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things.
He's referring to the floods.
People still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on it.
Cut it from there. But anyway, this was kind of a shocking, a bit of a shock and a surprise to most people, because it, one of the things Trump campaigned on, and also those people who he spearheaded into his administration as the FBI director, Kash Patel, and also deputy FBI director, who is Dan Bongino, amongst also Attorney General of the DOJ, Pam Bondi, who was about to speak here, but it's kind of irrelevant what she says, really. Yeah. Were people who were promoting full transparency and, releasing all the files and everything. And I
just want to say that they keep changing their narrative. Like, on the one hand, they said they had files. On the other hand, they say they don't. And
we got a clip on that too. Like,
kind of feels like they want to cover something up.
Which is just the fact.
If you see that one, the one I held, that one, we might have to high speed it. But like, this is in relation to what Edge is just saying.
This is a montage.
This is a montage of basically what he brought up. Yeah, just to give some.
Should I try 2 speed?
No, maybe 1.5 is better. I think it's too fast but just a good word you used when we last spoke was they try to memory hole stuff. They think that we're dumb and we forget, but we don't forget here, and I'm sure you don't. And this is just a sampling of some of these characters who are now in the administration, and now
I'm just going to refresh my page. I'll be right back. Okay. Because I think there's something weird.
No problem. Just a sampling of what they previously said. Deputy Director Dan Bongino, previous to that. Also Kash Patel, who's the FBI director, and Pam Bondi, Attorney General. So it's just kind of fascinating how people change their tune.
It is. So let's go for it.
The changing stories on Jeffrey Epstein. Enjoy.
Bill Clinton. Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. That island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Who killed Jeffrey Epstein?
This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure? That's the person, let's say, is like, I'm absolutely sure of that. His plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody of Epstein. That's a huge mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source.
The story goes deeper into who's involved.
Assets. That's why this blackmail story makes so much sense.
I also want to say that he also mentioned that Epstein was also implicated in like the Middle East or some.
He was an intelligence
agency.
Let's be honest. The guy, his right-hand woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of an intelligence asset for none other than French intelligence, UK intelligence and Israeli intelligence, Robert Maxwell. Come on. I mean, this is like, what I just wanted to bring up is that it's fascinating, like how people are all the talk until they get into those positions, and then all of a sudden, mysteriously, the narrative changes. All of a sudden, no, there's really nothing there. There was no client list. We looked at it. Yeah. Okay.
Personally, I'm interested in the blackmail aspect of it and how politics can be controlled. But let's continue watching the video.
Yeah. A lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question: how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama,
there is already valid proof about this, because when they even searched the island, there were cases where they found hidden video cameras and things like this. It's like microphones. Come on now.
It was like set up. And to be honest with you, it's not just Epstein who had these videos. Who else was working in the camera room or whatever, or who got the tapes,
Bill Clinton, all intersected past with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would. All right. I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it.
Well, now they're not, because apparently it's too graphic, because they don't want to show us all the pornographic stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Conveniently.
Yeah.
But no one's asking to see that. They just want to see, they want to see the who's who. They want to know.
But if it wasn't their people involved, they would accuse them. They would be like, this thing needs to be exposed and we need to get to the truth of this.
Don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
A lot of phony stuff. How does he know it's phony stuff? I'm just...
Oh, here's the thing. That's why people voted for him. And that's why people backed Trump, because Trump was always part of that world. He ran in those circles. He knew. The difference was that Trump never really got involved, right? He never drank alcohol or took drugs or like participated in these things. He's very very orientated, right? That's one thing you can say about him.
He's like a different type of billionaire in a way.
Right. But he was always very familiar about, like, he that's why people always say, but he, hanged around with the Clintons. Yeah, of course, because in business, you're going to hang around with these types of people. So
influential people, right?
He was very familiar about a lot of these things. And so I just find it very, disrespectful, not only to his base, but also to just all American citizens, and not only American citizens, but a lot of people, the victims, obviously as well. How he just now poo-poos it by saying just like, oh, you're still talking about it. It's like, yeah, we've been waiting more than 10 years. Been waiting more than 10 years, and not only that,
like no result from all of this thing, and it's like, because we've been waiting for so long, something needs to come out of it.
Yeah,
you don't just dismiss it.
Yeah, and we're not only just talking about blackmailing here. We're talking about like victims at large. Yeah, there was a whole operation.
I think that's the biggest issue about this. What about the victims? I mean, are you serious?
This will go down in history, in my opinion, as a massive stain.
Massive blow to Trump.
No, not only to Trump, but more specifically in terms of the American government, in terms of the United States of America, universally.
And intelligence agencies, because they have to know something. Like there's no
100%,
way.
100%.
There is no way they don't know.
Here's the thing that is the striking issue with all of this, is that they were in deep with this. When you have intelligence agencies that make these claims of like, well, we didn't know what was going. No, you know what's going on. These guys. Well, I'm not going to talk about the FBI, but there's another agency, ABC agency in particular, right? And these guys are in bed with everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
People wonder like how Osama bin Laden developed. Well, guess what? Trained by one of these people. Well, not one of these people, by an agency, developed. A lot of these things are. You just cannot trust when the intelligence agencies, they make those bombastic claims of like saying, well, we don't know. You knew, and you were most likely, most definitely complicit in this. So, yeah.
Let me play a little bit more because there's a good part coming.
But I think I would, or at least.
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others. Certainly about the way he died. It'd be interesting to find out what happened there, because that was a weird situation, and the cameras didn't happen to be working, et cetera, et cetera.
I want to talk to you about the Epstein case. I have worked on this for years, trying to get those records of who flew on Epstein's plane and who helped him build this international human trafficking ring.
Absolutely, Senator. Child trafficking has no place in the United States of America, and I will do everything, if confirmed as FBI director, to make sure the American public knows the full weight of what happened in the past.
Release the list.
Yeah. So
anyway, so you got a little sampling there exposing the hypocrisy, and now, because it just brought up, because Trump even said he's quite interested in how he died. Well, there was coming from I think before we put that, just quickly, I think this is worth definitely showcasing here. Also from Voidzilla, aka Coffeezilla, really great YouTuber, by the way. He exposes corruption. The new Epstein footage, which they have released to try to satiate all the mad conspiracy theorists. Well, what I love about what Voidzilla did is that he's kind of broken it down, because this guy, he really gets into the dirty, and we'll play we'll play this back also a bit faster, but it is actually very necessary and informative, just so you know.
The fact that there's a minute of it missing. You're going to want to look at this time, and you'll see in about 3 seconds it will jump and the framing will change. So there you can see there was a cut or some kind of edited footage. And it obviously begs the question, why is there a minute missing from the FBI's prove it tape? But also, what does this tape even prove? As I said, this is not Epstein's cell, nor is this his cell. We're going to show you what that actually looks like. Here's the framing we see. And now we're going to compare that to the official report, June 2023, of Epstein's cell. They lay out a structure of the jail cell and the jail itself. And here you can see it's a 2-leveled system. There's a lower tier, there's an upper tier, and Epstein was in the L tier, okay? Here is where the camera actually was that we're seeing. We're going to go ahead and go through this so you can see that's what it looks like. There's upper floor, lower floor. Epstein was located on the upper floor in what's called the L tier, okay, which is right here. You can see it even better from here. Here's Epstein's cell. Here's the hallway. And right here is the camera, which was not recording, unlike what Kash Patel sort of insinuates that they're going to release that footage. They don't have that footage. According to them, the recording wasn't working. It was streaming, but not recording. The footage apparently had the DVR system stopped working about 10 days before all of this happened. This is in their own report.
There is no way a jail's camera stops working.
No, it's streaming. Streaming like we are, but it wasn't recording. Maybe they should use. Maybe they should talk to some streamers. Maybe the the Office of Correctional Facilities should talk to some streamers. On Twitch or Kick or something like that, so they understand how you can save your streams.
This is messed up.
But the more crucial point that he brings up. Wait, it was coming. Sorry. It's
all right.
That's not me saying that. Around July 29th, I believe, it stopped recording as it was supposed to. Now, here's where you can see what actually was recording the day of. So you can see this is the camera that we have access to, and it's looking this way. So that camera footage we see is not of Epstein's cell at all. You can't see it. Instead, this is the guard station over here, and the staircase is like this little, 3 pixels right there. So it's an actual joke if you think that this footage somehow had a perfect line of sight of Epstein's jail cell, and you couldn't have run an op right, even during the missing 1 minute window.
Wait, they're counting that as footage?
Do you understand now? This is the thing. It's a slither, 3 pixels. You can't see his cell. In fact, what Voidzilla is going to get into...
Counting that as a cell.
Highly recommend checking out this video by Voidzilla, because it's on his channel called Voidzilla, by the way, not Coffeezilla. Yeah. But what he points out later is that he breaks down the whole thing, and he looks at the whole thing there was no one in his cell, and no one was allowed out because there was a curfew that cellmates had to be in, I think around 8 p.m. or something. But at one point, you can see from that camera, it's slither some orange, and obviously that's what the inmates wore. So there was some inmate moving around. Was it Epstein? Was it someone else? But you can just denote an orange sliver on that little 3 pixels. And that's what he brings up later down the line.
Doesn't really say anything. Like it could be like
no. It's very
inmate being moved or something.
Well, they shouldn't be moved because they're locked down.
Something is happening. Yeah, people shouldn't be moving.
I mean, let's be honest, Edge. You and me, we weren't born yesterday. Shit stinks.
I don't know what they expect people to.
If it stinks, if it looks like shit, it stinks like shit. Yeah. The reality,
especially when it hits the fan, then it goes everywhere.
They want to basically, like play this out,
cover it up,
as if nothing to see here. Yeah. There's nothing to see here because you can't see anything practically, and you haven't proven anything, and you want us to take your word for it. Yeah, all right. Especially after what you said before.